Knowing how to get away is empowering. That's why it's one of the first things that I teach my clients as someone who works with dysregulated dogs. In behavior therapy, when we're working with a dog around their triggers, when the world is a scary place, it's vital that before we get to any of that, they know how to get out of a situation. And when you have dogs who are engaging in a fight response, when they're engaging in aggressive behavior, a lot of times a piece of that puzzle is that they don't know how to flight, or they don't perceive that they can flight in that situation. Or you might have a dog who freezes and shuts down. Or you might have a dog who flights, but way up on the stress scale, all the way in the red, and they're dragging you home, or they're dashing out the door. It's creating this dangerous, unsafe situation. So we want to teach our dogs that when something stresses them out, when something scares them, when they start feeling bad in their body, that they can help themselves by moving away. And we want to make sure that they know how to do that, how to get back to safety, how to get away even when there are restrictions on their movement, like when they're on leash. I often have my clients start out by learning a flight cue. So they give their dog a cue, and that cue means we're going to run away together. Now, you can actually run if that is accessible to you and your dog, or you can move away with purpose. In fact, you might want to modulate how quickly you are going if your dog is highly aroused, because the running is going to increase arousal. And so you've got to hit just the right pace for the dog in question. Some dogs are going to have a bigger window of tolerance than others, especially in the beginning. And then at the end, I like to do something to help them come back down, either because they're up from the running, or in real life scenarios, they're going to also be up because that's why they're moving away. There was something scary, there was something upsetting. And so I usually do that with a scatter feed of treats. I start this out with no triggers around, and I have my clients play it as an on-off switch game. And so we're playing with coming up and then down in arousal, working on some self-regulation. It's a fun game. Then we start using it in scenarios where we commonly encounter triggers without the trigger there. So for example, the window where they typically react, flighting to their sanctuary spot, or the side of the fence that they share with the neighbor dog to the back door. And of course, we can use it as management. So when we need to get out of there, we can get out of there. And the ultimate goal of this is that our dog, one, has an easier time moving away with our assistance, but then two, ultimately has an easier time moving away on their own. And because they know they can move away, that empowers them. It creates agency. That on its own is going to reduce stress levels and increase resilience to stress. But it also opens up a window for there to be curiosity. Well, if I can move away at any time, then maybe I do have questions. Maybe I can stay closer and be regulated while I'm closer and gather information and maybe have an emotional change.